Hey guys, this is Cody with Princess Craft RV. Come along with me as we go through the nuCamp AVIA. So starting up front on this trailer, thing's gonna ride on a 2 5/16 inch ball. So to get this thing to latch, once you get this lower down onto the ball, all you gotta do is lift this up, slide your latch forward, and you'll see these ears, there's one on each side, need to drop down into that cavity below, and that's it, and that's gonna be latched. To release it, all you've gotta do is pick up on the back and slide it away, and it should lock in the rear position, and that's going to be detached. To finish the hookup to your tow vehicle, you are going to have safety chains that are going to latch onto the receiver hitch, and these need to be crossed for legal compliance to create somewhat of a basket, if you will, underneath the hitch to stay in compliance there. We're also going to be equipped with a safety breakaway cable that runs to a breakaway switch on the frame for the electric brakes on the trailer. For some reason you were to get detached from the tow vehicle, this cable gets yanked out of a little box under here and engages the brakes on the trailer to bring it to a stop. Last but not least, we're going to get hooked up through a 7-way cord. This is going to run all of your turn signals, brake lights, running lights, and electric brakes from the tow vehicle when it's plugged in. Moving up to your BAL stabilizing system here, this is going to run all of the stabilizer jacks as well as the electric tongue jack. So to use this thing, you have to choose whether you want to extend or retract first, and then you will push the corresponding button as to what device you're running. So if we want to extend the tongue jack, we're going to put it to the switch to extend and push the tongue jack button. That's going to raise the tongue jack up. If we want to extend the front and left front and right front stabilizers, put it in the extend position and push the buttons. They're going to hit the ground and then they're going to basically stop almost as soon as they hit. Same with the rears, you just push and run them down. So to retract them, all you're going to do is the opposite. Flip your switch to retract. If you want to lower the tongue jack down in retract mode, push the button, that's going to lower the tongue down. And this is going to raise the stabilizers if you're in the retract mode. So just put it in retract, push the buttons, and the stabilizers will lift up off the ground. And once you're done and all set up, all you got to do is flip that back to off, close this, and lock it in the position. If for some reason this does fail, this is a 3H drive, basically like a ratchet, that you can use here to manually crank the tongue jack up and down. Moving into the front cover here that says nuCamp on it, you've got a twist lock here that's going to keep this compartment closed. All you got to do is turn that, raise this up, and inside you're going to find just a couple things. Dead center, we've got your 20-pound propane cylinders. These are just standard 20-pound, same thing that you would find on like a home barbecue grill. So these can be refilled or exchanged, whichever you prefer. To get these out, first things first, make sure your service valve is turned into the off position, which is going to be all the way to the right until it stops. You don't need to crank down on these, just slightly snug it down. Once you get there, disconnect your gas hose to whichever cylinder you're removing. Take the wing nut off. Raise your crossbar and tip your cylinder out, and then lift your cylinder out of the trailer. Once again, then you can take this and get it serviced, get it refilled or exchanged. Just remember that the cylinders always need to be in the upright position when they're in your vehicle for transport, as well as when they're in the trailer. Once you get it refilled or exchanged, to put it back in, it's just going to be the opposite. Just lift it back in, set it into the base. Set your crossbar in. Snug your wing nut down. This does not need to be over tight, just snug. Reconnect your gas hose. And then you can turn your service valve back on to whichever cylinder you need to use. Now this does have an auto changeover valve, as you can see here on the back wall, with a dial. This little lever right here is going to select which cylinder you would like to use. If you leave both cylinders turned on and this pointing towards one cylinder, it's automatically going to drain that cylinder and then automatically start pulling from the other cylinder, but it will be at a reduced BTU rating. So what I like to do is to leave one cylinder off and leave one supply cylinder on for use. Select it here with your selector switch, and then when that cylinder runs empty, you'll know that it's empty, and then you can remove that one, go get it refilled and exchanged, and while you're out doing that, just turn that over to the other cylinder and then start using that one. So pretty simple, and that way you always know how much propane you've got in your cylinders. Another cool thing is they make an actual like a sonar level sensor that you can put on the bottom of these, and it will actually send it to an app on your phone and tell you a true level of the cylinder. It's a pretty cool device. Check it out. Over in the corner over here, we're going to find your spare tire. It's just mounted up against the wall there with a lug nut there to keep it up against the wall. And then just to the right is just going to be a storage area. So you can pretty much fit whatever you would like to in this area. There are some vents down here in the bottom. Don't block those. That's to allow any maybe LP gas that might leak to escape the area there. So to operate the light in the area if you're working in the dark is just inside the door side forward compartment here. There's a switch just inside here that's going to power that light on and off. It's right here just above your battery disconnect switch. It's going to run the light in that compartment as well as another light, service light, on the other side of the trailer that I'll point out to you as well. While we're here, let me go ahead and talk about the battery disconnect. So you'll see here it's got green at the top and red at the bottom. Whenever you're disconnected or in storage, whenever you're not going to be using the trailer, make sure you turn this thing to red so you're not draining your battery dead. When you are using it, just have that in the green and you're good to go. So that pretty much covers the front of our trailer for now. So let's move over to the off door side and check things out over here. Just up front here, you're going to have a vent. This is going to be for the battery box that's actually stored inside the trailer, so your batteries can vent to the exterior of the trailer. We don't want them venting to the inside. Just below that, we're going to have some tire information. It's going to have your tire size, tire pressure, and then your load of water and what that actually weighs. So whenever you're doing all your weights, you can know what that is. Moving from here, down underneath, this is going to be your forward stabilizer. That's what these look like. That's all controlled from the front of the trailer. Moving back from there, this light right here, that's the one that's controlled with that switch in the forward compartment that I just showed you. And just below that's going to be our water hookups. Two different ways to use water with this trailer. First one's going to be the freshwater tank, which is a tank that's on board the trailer that you can fill up with the water hose. Just put your water hose in here, turn the water on until it fills up and gushes back out, or it comes out of this little vent right here. When that occurs, you'll know that the tank is full and you can use water, and you'll use a water pump to extract the water, and I'll show you how to operate that pump once we get inside. The other connection is going to be a city water connection on a water hose. So if you're staying at a campground and you have access to a hose bib, you're just going to hook your hose up, run a inline pressure regulator on the water hose, and hook your hot water hose up, and you're going to automatically pressurize the trailer, and you're going to be good to go while you're camping. Now this compartment door does have a little flap here that can swing out of the way. So you just swing it out of the way. Water hose is going to line up perfectly to connect on, and then you can lock this compartment to kind of secure things there. Just below that, we're going to find our ALDE exhaust. So if you're running your ALDE system for hot water or furnace, the exhaust gases and the heat are going to come out right here from burning the LP gas. So this can get warm. Just cautious that we don't block it, cover it, or touch it while you're in use. Just underneath here, we're going to find a couple of drain tubes. This one right here that says freshwater tank drain, that onboard water that I was talking about, that's how you'll drain it. You just turn that valve right there, and that's going to allow the water to drain out. These two right here are going to be for the ALDE system. And then there's a couple of more valves up here, or I'm sorry, a couple more tubes that are sticking out. There's two right here, and then there's two more back here just in front of the tire that are other drain locations. The valves are on the inside of the trailer. Moving over from there, we've got your exterior antenna hookup for hooking up a park cable, satellite, or an antenna for TV viewing. Moving over from there, we've got your 30 amp 110 connection. So this thing has a very easy hookup. You've got 3 prongs, one of them being an L shape. On the trailer side, you've got the same 3 corresponding parts. Just match up your 2 L prongs. Push the cord on there slightly, give it a little bit of a turn, and then use the lock ring on the back to secure the cord to the trailer. Moving back from there, we're going to have a couple of vents here on the side. These are for the refrigerator to ventilate properly and operate. That's all those are for. Just forward of that, we've got a vent right here. So inside you'll find two little tabs that you have to push up on, and that's going to allow that little flap to open up. That's for your vent hood, so when you're running your exhaust vent on your vent hood while you're cooking, it's going to actually allow that air to actually leave the trailer versus just being recirculated inside. Just make sure you do snap that back shut for travel. Those little flaps can get pulled out of there by the wind. On your wheels and your tires, check your tire pressures regularly. Check your lug nut torque before you hit the road on any trip. We always recommend. And it's 100 foot-pounds on the lug nut torque, and follow the manufacturer's recommendations on the tire pressure, which is on that sticker at the front of the trailer. Here we'll find a black tank flush. So when you get ready to dump your tanks, after you dump your black tank, you can pop this off, open up a water hose to this. Recommended that you don't use the same freshwater hose that you use to provide fresh water to the trailer, just in case you get into a backwash incident. You don't want sewer water getting into your freshwater hose. So run a separate hose, run this over to the hose bib, keep your sewage valve open or your black tank valve open, hook your water hose up, run it for about 5 or 10 minutes. That's going to help wash down the inside of the tank and get everything out of there. Next to that, we've got your outside shower. Very simple to use. We've got your shower head here. The way this operates with this lever here, once you turn your hot and cold water on, all you got to do is push down on that and it's going to lock into place and it's going to spray out. When you're done using it, all you got to do is push down on the head, the little lever there. It's going to release and you're good to go. To store that back in, just feed the hose back in through the hole, and that head's going to store up in there just like that. One thing to remember is make sure you do have your water valves turned off on this. It can cause some weird heat mixing issues, as well as, you know, it may dribble a little bit and then you're just losing water. Once you get done to close this thing, all you got to do is push down on this little latch and close it. Same for opening. Moving down from there, we're going to have your dump station. So to use this, all you got to do is take this bayonet cap off, put your sewer hose on, run it over to the dump, and then right here are going to be your two dump valves. You'll see one's a gray handle and one's a black handle. So your gray one's going to be for your gray water, which is sink and shower, and black is going to be for your toilet. We always recommend keeping the black valve shut until the tank is full, and whenever it becomes full and ready to dump, pull that one, let everything drain out, then close it and follow it with the gray water. That'll help wash everything out. Pretty self-explanatory. Once again, this will be the valve that you want to keep open when you're using the black tank flush. Just pull it out, turn your black tank flush on, and let it go. Moving back into the rear storage compartment, this is a pass-through storage that's equipped with a slam latch on the door. As you can see, it's a good size storage, and it's got some slats cut and things like that. That's going to be for heating, so whatever you have in here doesn't you know, freeze or anything like that. To use these doors, like I said, they're equipped with a slam latch. Basically what that means is it can literally slam shut. Key lock, and to open it, just pull up on the latch, and then you've got a magnet catch here that keeps that door up in the open position while you're getting stuff out of the compartment. Moving around to the back of the trailer, not a whole lot going on here. This is where your license plate's going to mount, and it is equipped with a backup camera that the monitor mounts in your car, and then this is powered off of the tail lights on the trailer, so you have to actually have the tail lights on in order for that camera to receive power. Moving over to the door side of the trailer, we've got the other side of that rear pass-through storage compartment. Once again, equipped with a slam latch on the door to open, just like that. And in here is where you're going to find your light switch to control the lighting for this compartment. Just a big switch right here, turn it on and off. And in the very top corner, you're going to find a glycol tube. This tube right here, that's actually going to be for servicing if you need to bleed the system or anything like that, so you can get in there and release any air pockets. On the trailer up here, you'll see your two white exterior speakers and your Carefree box awning. I'll show you how to operate the awning and everything on that once we get inside the trailer. Just outside the door here, we do have a GFCI 110 outlet with a test and reset button. If for some reason you got some outlets not working or this one's not working, check your trip reset buttons there. Make sure everything's working as it should. To use your entry door step, all you got to do is kind of push up on here and close it. And that's going to automatically turn the step light off. To pull it out to use it, just grab underneath the lip here, pull straight out, and it's going to pop right into place, turn that light back on. So to keep your entry door held open, all you got to do is open it. We're going to take these two pieces, and they're just going to push together like that, and that's going to hold it in the open position. On the inside of your entry door here, we've got your fire extinguisher. It's got a pressure gauge on it. Make sure that thing is always in the green. Once it starts to dip off into the red, it means it's losing its pressure charge. It's time to replace it and get you a new one in there. To use your latch, we've got a couple of different modes on it. Really just up into the red position is going to be our lock position. That's going to be unlocked and probably closed or just sitting here. And then to get out from the inside, all you got to do is push it down, and that's going to open the latch up for you there. A couple other things, we've got a trash bin or storage bin here, a couple more storage areas, and then on your window on the door, you do have a privacy shade that just slides up and down for you and gives you some privacy. So that pretty much covers the exterior of our AVIA. Let's go check out the inside. All right, guys, so coming inside your AVIA, first thing here, you're gonna have a screen door. So if you're wanting to just ventilate your trailer out and use some fresh air, keep the bugs out, you've got a good screen door there that just slides back and forth. Moving up to our master control panel here, you're going to find a way to control all of your, the majority of your lights, plus check your tanks and control your ALDE system. So first things first, this little panel right here that says nuCamp, if you touch it, it's going to bring up your tank levels. You'll see fresh, black, and gray. Our fresh tank is full right now, and your black and gray tanks are empty. All you have to do is touch the panel, and that's going to wake up. You don't have to cycle through anything. It's just going to show you your levels. If you touch it again, it's going to show you your battery. At the top reading there, you can see it says 14.1 volts. That's how many volts we've got going on right now. And then kind of a gauge over here on this side about your battery. All your touch buttons here on the right-hand side, starting at the top, it says all LTS off. That's going to turn off every single light in the trailer in the one touch of a button. So if you're leaving the trailer, just hit that. It's going to shut all the lights off. You don't have to walk back to the bedroom and do it there. The backlighting actually turns off the backlighting of the panel. So if you're going to bed and this is a distracting light, just push that. It's going to turn that backlight off. Your dinette accent light, it's going to kind of give you a good accenting around the top here, all the way around the dinette and the kitchen area, all the way around basically the front end of the trailer. Your dinette ceiling lights are going to be these three little puck lights that are right over the dinette area. And then below the dinette ceiling light is going to be your water pump switch. So that's how you're going to control the water pump on and off if you are using the onboard storage for water. Below that, you're going to see one that says 12 volt fridge. So if you're going to need to run the fridge on 12 volts, which we don't recommend, but it is there just in case you need it, this does have to be turned on in order for that to operate correctly. Under that's going to be our under cabinet lights. So that's going to be some puck lights that are underneath right here by your TV and also over there on the kitchen. And then last but not least, we've got the awning. So this is going to be an LED light strip that runs along the awning edge, as you can see here, how that turns on and off. And then we've got your ALDE control. So this is going to be for your furnace and your water heater. Check out videos on this, read the owner's manual. There's a lot of good information there about all the features that this thing can do. But basic use, turn your power to the on position, let it boot up. It's going to kind of run through its little checks here. Once you get to this screen, if you push the menu button, this is going to be your main operation panel here. The top one's going to be your cabin temperature or your thermostat for inside. The warmer you make it, that's going to run your furnace or your ALDE boiler to warm up the trailer. So whatever you set this at is what it's going to try to achieve. Below that's going to be kind of like a shower boost. So if you're going to be taking a lot of showers back to back, turn this thing up till that black bar gets full, and that's going to kind of give your hot water an extra boost. Below that, you're going to find an electric bolt. This is going to be how you control your water heater on the electric side. Now, it's got two settings. It's got a 1 kilowatt and a 2 kilowatt settings. If you're running in the 2 kilowatt mode, it's going to heat the water a lot faster. And then the last little flame button down here is going to be for the gas operation for the water heater slash boiler furnace. And that's pretty much the basic operations. Like I said, there's a whole lot of settings and things that you can do in here. Look it up. You can set timers, all kinds of cool stuff. All right, guys, just above your main control panel, you're going to find your smoke alarm. It's just a 9-volt powered smoke alarm. You know, operates just like a smoke alarm. Test to periodically replace the battery as needed in that thing. So moving over to our kind of our dinette area, starting right here on the wall, you'll see this little short panel here. It's got a pull knob on it. People are like, what's that for? Well, it's for people like us. So this actually pulls out of here, and it's just for wiring. So it's not a storage. It's not anything like cool and hidden or anything like that. It's just more for the service side of things, gives us access without having to do like a serious overhaul on your trailer if we need to work on anything. Moving into the dinette upper area here, you've got some overhead storage. To get these to open, you really need to push in both corners at the same time because you've got latches on both sides. And that's going to help release everything so it opens up nice and straight. Just underneath, we've got some switches and some controls. We've got your top one here. This is going to run, that's going to run your step light. So if you don't want it on during the day, you can turn it off. Remember that step also controls that light on and off. Below that, you're going to find your Ames power inverter control button. So this right here is actually going to run 4 outlets in this trailer. And I can point those out to you as we come across them. But this has to be on in order for those specific 4 outlets to operate. And below that, you're going to find your awning Carefree awning control switch, on and off, and then your extend retract. So in order for this thing to work, this does have to be in the on position. And then you just are going to choose your extend or retract positions to run the awning all the way in or out. Now, if you leave it in the on position and run it all the way out, it is equipped with a wind sensor on the system. So if it starts flapping too much, it'll automatically retract the awning to the trailer. If you have that in the off position, all those features get turned off. So if you've got it extended, leave that thing on and let it do its job. Moving over from there, we do have these little lights for reading lights or just accent lighting on each side of the dinette area that just have a push button on them to turn them on and off. Now, if you just push that button one time, it's going to be blue for an accent light, as you can see there. If you long press that button, it's going to come on clear, give you more light, and actually be usable for like a reading light or just a brighter accent light. To operate your windows, pretty much every window in this trailer operates the same way. And there's a lot of windows, especially up here in the front, that are really cool. But to open these up, they just have turn latches. All you have to do is turn these, and that's going to unlatch it and allow you to push that window out. Now, once you find the position that you want, all you have to do is snug up these knobs to hold the window in the out position. Once you get ready to close it, give it a little bit of support. Loosen those knobs up so it doesn't just slam shut, and then let it in slowly. And then you can latch it back into place. Another feature that these windows have is kind of like a vent position. You'll see on your latches here that they have a second groove or a middle groove right there where you can slide that into the middle, and that just gives a little bit of opening on the window here and just gives some nice ventilation. Maybe on like a rainy day and the rain's coming in, you can close it down and still get some fresh air in. But for fully latched and closed, ready for travel, you'll want that red all the way out here on the edge of the black and ready for travel, latched up correctly. Now, all of your shades in this trailer operate the same way as well. So I'm going to show you on this one, but every single shade operates the same way. Your top shade here that pulls down, it's going to be considered your day shade or your bug screen. So if you've got that window open, but you want to keep the bugs out, you're going to be using this shade. And at nighttime, all you got to do is slide that up. This is going to be your blackout or your nightshade. It's going to help keep light out as well as keep people from being able to see in while you're here. To get these to separate, all you got to do is to give a little tug out on this clip right here. Don't pull on it too hard. It doesn't take much, and then they will separate, and all you got to do is push it back down. And that covers the shade operation for the entire trailer. So moving just up front here on the very forward area of the trailer, you'll see an outlet in each corner up here. Those are the first two outlets that are going to be covered by that Ames power inverter that I showed you how to turn that on up in the front corners. So your dinette area has a lot of cool features. So let me show you kind of how everything works. Right now you'll see this is made into the downward bed position, and then you just have to position your cushions to fit on there. Let me show you how to work this table. So if you see right here, there's a little lever. You have to pull this lever in order to get this thing to release and move up and down. So when it's in the down position, all you got to do is pull it, and it's got a hydraulics to it, so it's automatically going to raise into the up position. When you want to lower it, you've got to pull and hold that handle and then push the table down manually. Once you get it all the way down for the bed position, you can release and it's going to stay down like that. So while I've got this out, let me show you some other things that are going on up here. So underneath the door side over here, we've got all kinds of storage, and it pretty much wraps the whole front dinette area. But once you pull your cushions up, you'll see you've got a lot of storage in here. Now this actually gives you access from the outside to the inside through that forward storage compartment. And you can see this thing goes all the way around. If you actually pull all these cushions up, it's going to go all the way around. Under this big center one, this is actually where you're going to be your batteries, power inverter, all kinds of your Victron electronics, monitoring panel, all that stuff is in here. Your batteries are actually in this box right here. They come installed from nuCamp and ready to go. And this is going to be your power inverter here. And we've got a subwoofer and some other stuff, lots of fuses. There's all kinds of things in this compartment to check. Moving on around to the off door side, again, we still have storage compartments. And then underneath here, we've got your LPCO alarm. It's got a test button right here in the right upper corner. Check it periodically, make sure that that does operate, that it beeps. It's got some lights on here. We'll tell you what kind of leak it's detecting. And then these little grooves that are cut here along the floor, that's going to be where the heat radiates when you're running the ALDE heater side of things to warm your trailer up. Dead center in your dinette area, this big black circle right here, it's going to be your subwoofer, and I'm going to show you how to turn that on here in just a minute. Okay, so now all your cushions are put back in place and you can put your table in and use it. Now just remember, whenever you get ready to hit the road, it's a good idea to collapse that table down so it's not at full height and just rocking. So you don't want that thing falling over and messing up your beautiful finish that's inside this trailer. So moving over to our kitchen area, we've got a lot of storage over here. They've done a great job. Your overhead cabinets, again, you'll want to make sure you push in both corners to get both latches to release, and you've got storage in there as well as this one. Your vent hood here, remember I talked about the vent on the outside that needs to be opened if you're going to be using this exhaust fan so those exhaust gases can actually leave. It's just got a switch up top there to turn it on and off, as well as a additional light. To light your 3-burner cooktop, all you've got to do is choose your burner. Tells you which one it is based on the picture. Turn that knob to the light position, push and hold it down. Push the igniter button and it's going to automatically spark. Once it gets lit, hold that button down for about another 5 seconds or so until your flame is stabilized. And then you can choose your burner selection, flame height, temperature, whatever you'd like to call it, and do your cooking. Let this cool down before you close your glass cooktop. We don't want you closing that down on a hot cooktop. We don't want it broken. You don't want it broken, so just let it cool off before you get there. To use your sink, it can rotate, and then your lever here is going to be how you control your water. So your temperature control is going to be back and forth. Your flow control is going to be tipping this thing in and out. So that's going to be how you use your sink. Moving down underneath are going to be more storage drawers, and each of your drawers is equipped with a travel latch just behind the handle. So if you pull from the bottom, it's very natural to just hit that release lock and allow you to release and open your drawers. Each drawer has that, and it's just a additional safety device, as well as your side compartments here that pull out. That's going to be your spice rack there for whatever you would like to put on it. They've fit a ton of storage into this thing. They've done a great job. This big one underneath is actually going to be for servicing your ALDE system. And you'll see here we've got some drain valves, some pop-off valves. We've got some temperature controls, all kinds of servicing things. So this is not a storage compartment. They've got the sticker there. Don't store stuff in there. It's just for servicing access. Moving a little further back, we're going to have your Norcold refrigerator. This thing is pretty cool little refrigerator. Does a good job. And to operate this thing, you've just got your power button up here. And once you push it, so if you want to turn it on and off, you've got to push and hold the power button. That's going to turn it off. Push and hold it again to turn it on. Let it boot up. And then to choose your modes, this is a 3-mode refrigerator, which means it can run on 110 electric, LP gas, or 12 volt. You just have to push this button to cycle through. So this is going to be the auto mode. It's going to automatically choose LP gas or 110 electricity, depending on whether you're plugged into shore power or traveling down the road. It's the most viable mode to leave it in. It automatically does what it needs to do. So if you lose power while you're at the park, for some reason, it's going to automatically switch to gas and still protect your food that's inside. So to switch to just electric and just keep it there, push it again. You'll see the A went away. If you want to go to battery mode, the battery light will come on. Remember that button over at the door that has to be on in order for this to operate, or it's just going to do this and give you an error code because there's no 12 volt power there. And then we've got your gas mode. Now this thing's going to auto light on gas, and it may take a few times. So you may get like a beeping or an error. You just have to turn it off, turn it back on if there's air in the line. Our last two boxes over here, first middle one's going to be our temperature setting. You're going to have 1 through 5, 1 being your warmest, 5 being your coldest. So just choose your temperature there where you like it and go on. And this last one's going to be like a defrost mode or anti-defrost. So it's just going to kind of change the functions of things for you there. Freezer access here comes with a cool little round ice tray there for you that you can fill up and put ice in, and just an overall cool little refrigerator that also has a pull-out drawer at the bottom. Moving back over to our door side, we've got a couple of things going on over here. Just inside the door, one thing that I did forget was our entertainment system from Fusion here, or I'm sorry, Fusion. Our entertainment system from Fusion. It's got a lot of cool features. It's all touch panel, you know, state-of-the-art kind of cool stuff. It's Wi-Fi, got Sirius XM built in. You can connect your phone to it. AM, FM radio, basically all the goods once it gets going there. So once this thing gets all booted up, it just take just a second. You're going to kind of come up to a main screen here. Then you've got all kinds of stuff that you can do in here. You can do presets. You can do just your radio. It's got settings where you can change all kinds of stuff. It's a really intuitive, easy to operate once you kind of figure it out type device. Really cool and sounds great whenever everything's working. Now to run that subwoofer that I told you about that's up front, it's actually going to be in this compartment right here. You've got to open this up, and then just inside you'll see this switch right here. This switch right here is only to run the subwoofer, so it turns it on and off. Now your microwave is going to be in the other side of this, and it's pretty cool. It's actually got a built-in switch down here at the bottom that turns the outlet off for the microwave whenever this compartment door closes. But if you want to use the microwave, you got to have both of these open so you can get the door. And it's going to be a convection microwave, so it can be regular microwave or it can cook convection. Just check out the owner's manual on it and follow the directions. Some cool goodies that comes with your AVIA from nuCamp. This is going to be the monitoring panel that goes with your wireless backup camera that we talked about that's on the rear of the trailer. They provide you with this cool little box here, so you can actually call in and like claim this bottle of wine from nuCamp. It's pretty cool. And then we've got your owner's manual bag that comes with all the extra goodies, paperwork, you know, reading material for you from nuCamp on everything that they put in this trailer. Over here we've got a storage overhead. Again, it's got latches on both sides, so try to push on both lower corners to get it to release at the same time. And we've got your TV. To get this thing to swing out, you've got a lever right back here that you just have to tip slightly to the right, which is going to allow that TV to swing out. And then you can, you know, watch it while you're sitting in the dinette. Just get you a good angle of however you like it. When you're done using it, it just pushes back up to the wall and latches back in place. We'll see your 110 outlet here that's got 2 USB ports for charging, as well as another charge station here with the HDMI cable that can run through it there. Overhead, we've got your Coleman Mach air control, which is going to be for your AC for the entire trailer. And it's very simple to use. It's got a digital readout here on the face, and right now it just says off. So if you want to cycle through your modes, push the button, you're going to get fan low, fan high, then you're going to get cool high, cool low, and then you're going to get auto mode with high and low fan speed settings. So we always recommend running your air conditioners on high fan, whichever mode you're going to run it in, unless it's just fan mode. If you're running cool with it, we do recommend high fan, where you don't freeze up or anything on the upper unit. So this thing's got different vent selections here. We've got your 2 vents on the ends here that you can open and close or change kind of the airflow there. And then we've got these 2 that open up on the bottom and allow some airflow straight down into this area. On each side here is going to be a filter. To get these out, you just kind of pull down on these 2 little tabs here. That's going to give you access to your filter. So that's your filter once you get it out of there. These can be reused as long as you don't damage them. Just some warm soapy water, let them dry completely before you put them back in. And once they're all dry and ready to go, all you got to do is fit them back in here. And they can be used for quite a while, like I said, as long as you don't damage them when you're taking them in and out of here. Okay, just like that, and that pretty much covers your Coleman Mach AC up top. Moving back into this compartment here, it's just going to be a coat closet. Good storage area. As you can see down there, it says this is not a storage compartment. There's a couple screws holding that compartment closed. That's going to be more for servicing, as well as this compartment that's up here on the inner wall as well. That's going to be for servicing if we need into the wall to work on anything in there. Just below this compartment, we're going to find your WFCO power distribution panel. And here's going to be your 110 breakers and your 12 volt fuses. And nuCamp has already gone in and labeled pretty much everything that they run. So this is just like resetting a breaker at your house. If you lose power somewhere, check your breakers. Your 12 volt fuses, just like fuses in your car. Check your fuses. It's a good place to start if you're having some power issues. Just behind the refrigerator, we've got another pull-out storage area for spices or canned goods or pretty much whatever you want to put in there. So moving back into that, now we're going to be into kind of the middle of the trailer. This is going to be our bathroom area. And let me tell you, this thing is kind of cool the way they've set this up, and there's a lot to it. So try to follow, and I will do my best to explain how this works. So to close off the front and rear of the trailer, first of all is going to be your doors right here. So that's going to be for your privacy if you want to have the back end of the trailer closed off. Now for your toilet and your shower, these can be used as they stand right here. Now your toilet one, if you need a little more space, this whole thing pulls out from the wall, right? So if you need to sit down to use the bathroom, this whole thing pulls out, and then all you got to do is pull this door around, and there's one on the other side as well, and they close up just like that and give you complete privacy while you're in there. And then when you're done, just push that back to the wall, and again you have your walkway. Now once you get in here, you've got your vanity area. So to open up these, they have little latches on the knobs down here. You got to push that in, and then they just pull open. Got a little storage on each side. Okay, so to use your sink here behind the bathroom, it's very similar to the way the water is used at the kitchen sink. Your lever right here is going to control your water flow, and then all you have to do is tip that handle back and forth between hot and cold. Hot's going to be to the wall, the cold's going to be straight out. When you do need to store this up out of the way though to use the toilet, this lever needs to be pushed back as well. And then you can close that thing up. Got your, your mouthwash glasses. We've got a soap dispenser. And then over here, we've got your light switch that's tucked away in this back corner, as well as a GFCI outlet back there to plug in your shaver, curling iron, whatever you need. And then your toilet dispenser down here at the bottom, and then a towel rack or hand towel rack up there at the top. Up on the ceiling, we're going to have your vent fan. So to use this thing, all you got to do is push up on the handle. So all you got to do is put your palm on it, push up, and then you've got your little red button there. Turn that on. That's going to turn on the exhaust fan that's in there to help ventilate whatever's going on in here. To close it, just put your hand around it, pull straight down. Now on the opposite side, we've got your shower. So the doors on the shower operate just like the bathroom. All you got to do is pull the two together. They're actually held closed with a little light duty magnet to keep everything closed together for you there. And then to operate things in here, first of all, you got to have light to kind of see what you're doing. This little button right here that's on the side, it's going to be how you turn your light on and off. Again, we have another exhaust fan over here that's just like the one over the toilet. And then we've got your shower here, you can actually loosen this up. You can move your shower head up and down to choose your height, and then to choose the operation here. Got your little knob. All you got to do is tip it out. So tipping it out is going to be your water control, and then you'll see on here you've got a red and blue dot that specifies temperature. So that's going to be cold, that's going to be hot, and that's pretty much how you use your shower. And then you've got your little storage areas there for keeping anything back there. And I like the way they've already put in the guards here. It's going to help keep your bottles and stuff in place while you travel down the road. And that pretty much covers our bathroom and shower. So let's move back into the bedroom. So back here in the bedroom, you're going to see this little loop. This is actually designed to go through this handle on your bathroom extension. So this does need to be latched whenever you're getting ready to hit the road. Otherwise, that thing can move in and out on its own. You don't want that damaged. So back here, we've got another television for you that can swing around. It's got a little strap right here on the bottom. All you got to do is pull on that. You'll hear that click, and that's going to release it. So now you can swing this out, kind of center it on the bed, or, angle it, put it wherever you would like to for your viewing pleasure. Overhead, we've got your vent fan. It says here, please ventilate cabin for sleeping. So nuCamp really recommends lightly running your fans while you're in here sleeping because it's such a small space. So in order to use this thing, there's a couple ways to do it. You can do it manually, but why do it manually when you've got a remote control? So let me show you how the remote control operates. So on your remote control here, you've got your power button. You've got your up and down. That's going to be for your lid, and then your air reversing in and out, fan speed, or temp. So if you run it on temperature, you'll see the light move up the temperature. Fan speed, you're going to see it move up and down by percentages. So if you start this thing in, so if you turn it on, you'll hear kind of that whining noise right there. That's going to be the lid opening up. And right now our fan speed is set at 100%. So if we want to turn our fan speed down, just push the button and you'll see it start to drop down there. If you want to run it in auto mode, just push your temperature control, and that's going to automatically switch you over to auto, which is going to be you're going to then use temperature settings. So if you want to reverse your fan speed, just push the button. The fan's going to come to a stop, turn around, and go the other direction. And if you just want to have no fan, just turn that thing all the way down, and then you can close that lid. You can close the lid and it'll automatically close down. Now once that gets all the way down, there is a knob here that says lock on it. This is going to be for travel. You do want to make sure that is swung around and latched onto the lid. It's going to help keep it down so we don't end up accidentally, you know, breaking anything, wind getting to it or anything like that. Now this stores right up in this little holster up here that's beside the bed. And if you look just below that, you'll see another outlet that has a couple of USBs in it. So that outlet and the one on the other side of the bed in the same location are going to be the other two outlets that have to be operated with the AIMS power inverter that I showed you where to turn on by the entry door. So if you want to use those two outlets, that inverter button has to be turned on. So back here next to the bed, we're going to see kind of our central command unit for our bedroom. We've got our accent light button here, which is going to kind of turn on the lights that are around this this decorative piece up top, and then at the windows underneath the wood trim panels. And then we're going to have our main ceiling light, which is going to be these three puck lights right here around the vent fan. Backlighting, again, you can turn the panel backlighting off for nighttime use. And then the bed is adjustable up and down, kind of like a lot of home beds are these days. So if you want to lower the bed down, just push and hold the bed down button and you can see that it's going to go down. If you want to have it up, just push and hold the bed up button and you can see it's going to go up. Now this is not a split frame, so you have to agree with your partner as to whether it's going to be up or down. That's just going to be up to y'all to figure out. The two little globe lights that are over the bed, again, those are going to be just like the two in the front of the trailer. The default to blue, and long press them again to change them to clear. So underneath the bed in the back, it just lifts up. Very easy, gives you a very large storage area to store some larger items or just lots of little stuff. So to get under here, all you got to do, reach under your mattress, grab the frame and lift up. It's got gas strut supports on each side, and do what you need to do. Lower it back down and you're good to go. Moving over to the door side of the bedroom, we're going to have a storage compartment here. And this area right here that you can see that kind of intrudes into your storage is because you've got a cubby cut out on the other side. Last but not least, I think in our bedroom here is going to be this little controller right here. So this thing is going to be a what they call a ink bird, and it's going to be a vent fan that blows out of this vent right here to help circulate air into the bedroom when you have it closed off from the rest of the trailer. So all you have to do is turn that on, push and long hold it. You're going to see a temperature come up. Now this is all adjustable and changeable. There's a little owner's packet that comes on how to operate this. Read up on it. So right now, without the air conditioner on, we're just basically pumping air from the front of the trailer to the back of the trailer. When you turn the air conditioner on and you have the partition doors closed, that's actually going to allow it to pull that cool air from the front of the trailer to the back. So it's just a way for them to get some fresh air back here whenever you're separated. If you have that partition door open, you're going to naturally get some natural ventilation back here, especially if you're running that air conditioner. So to turn it off, just long press the power button again, and it's going to shut off. I think that gets everything covered on your nuCamp AVIA. However, if I did miss anything, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And again, this is Cody with Princess Craft RV.